This engraving of the Government House, originally built to be the residence of President George Washington when our nation's capital was in New York City, was done after the 1797 painting by C. Milbourne. While not much is known about the original or its artist, the watercolor painting is in the collection of the New York Historical Society. The print shows the building situated across from the distinctive iron fence around Bowling Green at the south end of Broadway. It was designed in the Georgian style of architecture, which was the dominant style in New York City during the late 18th century. Before Washington could move in, the nation's capital first moved to Philadelphia and then to Washington, D.C. It quickly became the state governor's house, and both of New York's first two governors, George Clinton and John Jay, lived in this house during their time in office. However, New York City proved problematic as a location for the state capital. The city's large population made it susceptible to disease epidemics, especially yellow fever. As an island, New York City was an epicenter of trade and commerce, but it was also vulnerable to attacks from the sea. And the cost of living in the city was quite high, even back then. Albany, on the other hand, had many advantages. It was in a more central location within the state, which helped to avoid a sense of favoritism, as rivalries had formed between the northern and southern parts of New York. And because it was settled along the Hudson, it too was an epicenter for trade and was rapidly growing. With the beginning of Jay's second term as governor in 1797, the capital and its governor moved to Albany. In the following years, the Government House experienced several different uses. At first, it was leased, and rooms were rented for passing lodgers. It served as the Customs House from 1799 until 1815, and portions of the house were used by various groups, such as the New York Academy of Fine Arts and the New York Historical Society. Eventually, the property was sold and the house demolished on June 1st, 1815.